Yo, what is up guys? Today I'm gonna show you how to do this simple yet sort of complicated thing, and that is uh crap. uh yeah, it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. It's a simple yet a bit complicated, you know, and I'm just gonna teach you how to do it because I got nothing else to do. Yeah, so let's get right into it. Let's first start this by adding a simple plane. Now, you just gotta, before you do anything, I mean, add the plane first and then go up here. It's called snapping, where it snaps to the grid. So if it's turned off, you can, move it in, you can move it in any axis freely with D60. And if you have snapping turned on, you see it's a bit more snappy. God, I suck at puns. So yeah, you gotta do that. Once you turned on snapping, you can just align it. Well, I screwed up, so I'm gonna try to do it again. Once I got that set up, you can see that we have a plane. Now then you can just add a camera or just add a camera. And once you have the camera, I believe it is 0 on your numpad to do it, which takes you to the camera. So once you are in the camera, you could go up here, go to navigations and go to walk navigation and click on it. You'll see you can actually align the camera to what you want it to look like. So I'm just gonna align it about, yeah, I should do it. And you can go up here, the output properties, and you can go up to the resolution part. It's up here. You can type in 1080, so you'll get the square-ish looking camera. You could set it to whatever you want. I'm just using this because I prefer the square camera. Now let's get into the shading part of this. So I don't know if you noticed, I'll pull it up on the screen. My creation, you can see the entire post on Instagram. In my Instagram post, you can see it's actually a brick wall with a neonish sign. So it's a brick wall with a neonish sign. So to get the brick wall, first you gotta go to shading. It's up here. It'll take a second. Yeah. So once you're in shading, you gotta click new. Now once you click new, you'll see that you can see this thing called principled BSDF. Now the principled BSDF is good for all shading methods, such as your subsurface modifier or subsurface, and you have the metallic look. I'll just show you right now. As you can see, it looks a bit reflective. Now the first thing you need to keep in mind is, when you're doing any type of metallic background or any type of what is it, shiny background, or you just want the world lighting on an plane or a cube, you have to press on the plane, click on the plane, and then go to shade smooth. Okay, after that you can come down here and you can change, you see, The roughness controls the roughness. In real life, if the roughness is high, what happens? You can't see it. It won't reflect clearly. But if you turn down the roughness, you can see this. Now also, just so you know, if you go up here, the render properties, you can see there's something called the render engine. Now Eve will be set. So yeah, so what was I at? Yeah, so this is the render engine. This controls what type of render engine you use. So if you're using Eve, you can see that the reflection won't go entirely around the sphere, because Eve does not have proper light bouncing. But in Cycles, which is the one I used for the render, um, you can see that this light goes all the way around the sphere because it has proper light bouncing. Now Eve has improved with time. Before it used to take 12 years to render if you have a potato PC. I have one, so but now they have changed some things which I'm not aware of. So yeah, so now it's a little bit faster. So I used to prefer using Eevee, but now I don't. Eevee is also good for bloom effects. You can see that there's an option here called bloom, but in Cycles there's no option called bloom. You could get the same option, you could get the same effect, bloom effect, on Cycles using a way, but I'm not going to get into it now. I'll have separate video dedicated to that later. So where was I? Yeah, you need a brick texture on this. So first I don't want it to be metallic, I just want it to be normal looking. Then I can add. So just so you know, to add an object, it is Shift A, and once you hit Shift A, you can see that there will be this thing. So you could either search like this, like that, or you could search here, click on it, then you can type the one that you want. You can type the shader, or you can type the option. I don't know, you can type the thing that you want. So for me, I want the image texture node. The image texture allows you to put an image on your object. So just gonna connect it. So you need to connect this color to the base color. You need to connect this to this, and once you collect that, you can see that it changed color. But because I haven't applied any images till now, you can see it's asking. There are two options, and it's one of them is for selecting the image in your hard drive in the computer. So because I haven't selected any images, you can see it's just a black, it's a placeholder basically. And see, oh god, what is it? Yeah. Wow, we got brick texture. Nice. Yeah, brick texture. Yeah, very nice. Now you can see that the brick texture is it's a bit bland. You know, if you look at an angle, you can see it's very flat, because obviously it's a plane. It's a one side of a cube. So we need to get that realistic effect, you know. So how do you do that? You say, you click on, again, Shift A, add a color ramp, add that in. Yeah, now you can see it's a different color. We can change that later on. Just follow me. Then you can add a bump node. So bump, bump node. So once you got the bump node, you gotta go up, place it. Actually, take the height here. Sorry, you can click on this, drag it all the way up, and put it on color. And once you have done that, bring the bump a little bit down till here. I'm just showing you the entire thing. So you gotta bring it down, take this normal and put it into this normal. It'll take a second. Yeah, so again, now you can see it's a bit more realistic. Without bump, with bump, without bump, with bump, or without displacement or with displacement. So yeah, we have with displacement and without displacement. Now displacement is when you see this. If you look closely, you can see that some pixels are less in well, I don't have the word for it. Yeah, some are less in height while others are a little bit more in height. This is a randomized this is randomized on the basis of the image. So the image I put in was a brick texture, and this works together. The color ramp and the bump node works together, as you can see. So first we have the brick image, goes all the way through the color ramp and changes its colors to black and gray, or gray and white, and then that data, the change color data, sent to the bump node, and this data is being sent through the height part, and because it's going through the height part, then it will come through the normal and reach the principled BSDF and reach the principled BSDF's normal part. If you disconnect it, you can see that it loses its, I'll show you more clearly. With displacement, without displacement. And also, just a simple tip, if you want to cut anything, by what I mean is, if you want to remove a node, instead of doing like this, you can do control cut and connect it back like this. Okay, we got that out of the way. Now what do we have left? Oh yeah, the color. Now come back to the color ramp. Make this a bit bigger. Come back to the color ramp. You can see that if I select the black part and push it up, you can see that it's distorting the color, which we want, because normal objects won't be this what is it, it won't look this good or this plain with no issues. So you want some inconsistencies. So what you need to do is move this side, click open here. Once you click open here, you need to find that same image. So come towards, yeah, it's up here. So select that same image, you can select this, put that, put this, select this, and put it on a pixel with the same color. You see, now you add a new part to your color ramp node, which does the same color. And if you want to add a new part or a new color to your color ramp, you can click this plus sign here, and if you select one and you click minus, then it will be gone. Press plus, it will come back. Now we need the same color but even more darker. So you click on this white part and go to this thing. It might look small for you on your screen. This is called the eyedropper tool or the eyedropper. Yeah, you can see that. Eyedropper, a sample. You can take a sample from the Blender window to store in the property. So yeah, select this. So you can pick any color now, anything in this entire Blender window, anything. So I'm gonna go and select this color, and now I want to make it even more dark. So yeah, I made it even more dark. Once I made it even more dark, yes, you see that. So it was sitting right here like this. Sorry, it's like it was sitting like this. I took this, made it come more closer. You can see that the color gets distorted. Now if you wanted to have a little more detail in the white part of the cement, or I don't know, you add one more, bring it here, boom, you get that. But I prefer it not being this color. I prefer it being white. I'm gonna make it a little bit darker. Yeah, that should do it. Now it looks like a proper brick wall. Nice. Looks realistic enough. Now you got that. This is the entire thing. There's nothing you need to do here. There's nothing in the principled BSDF. You don't need to do anything here. Once you've done this, we have done the first part of the tutorial, or the first part of the render. Now come back to layout. So if you're here, click layout, it's up here. Come back here. Now just so you know, this is called a gizmo, or yeah, basically you can control what view you are looking at. You can either use your middle mouse button or this up here. I prefer this up here. So also, by the way, it's still, even in the layout, Shift A is to add an object. So you'll see that you might not have this thing, the landscape part, and you won't have this also, image as planes. You won't have this. You won't have the landscape, and you won't have the image as planes. Rest you will have. So you come here on the curve one and click on the Bezier, or the first one. Click on that, and you can see that something happened. You can see this is streak of line, or a line. Go into edit mode, and to go into edit mode you can hit tab on your keyboard, or if you don't have that, go up here. You can see there's something called object mode. There's a arrow down next to it. Click on that. You can see edit mode. Click on edit mode. Now just a thing to keep in mind is you need to click the edit mode. If you didn't click an object, or if you need to click this object, because you want to click on this thing. This is the thing that you need. This thing, not the plane, not this thing, this line. So you want this line, you click on that line. So I have clicked on the line. The line is selected, then click tab or edit mode. Go here, and you can see that when you go into edit mode, or 1 minute, you go into edit mode, it will look like this. You can see this things. You can move it like here, here, here. This might look a little bit weird on your screen, or it does. If you have to turn off this thing, the snap, If you turn off the snap, you can see that if I select one, I can move it like this. I can move it anywhere. Nice. Now if I turn on snap and I select this, you see it's more snappy. If I select the entire thing, it's more weird, glitchy looking. So you don't want this in the thing, so you just need to go into edit mode, click A, delete point. There's an option here called delete point. So again, go into edit mode, make sure you have selected this curve, click A on your keyboard, and then you have to click, don't left click. Okay, left click, and if left click doesn't work, try right click. It can depend if you accidentally set it to left or right. If you click like this, nothing will happen. You'll just select this. So left click, go to delete point, click on that. It has deleted the curve in edit mode, not in object mode. Now you can now take this option called draw, so you can draw with the curve. So I'm just gonna write tutorial. I can't write on keyboard and mouse. Okay, so you have clicked tutorial, you have wrote tutorial. So come back to object mode, select this, once you selected it, you can click on this. You can see you can move it around, snap it to a location that you prefer. But the thing is, the camera is on this side, so there's no point of this being on that side. The camera's on this side, so if you look at the camera's angle, you can see you can't see that tutorial text. So what you gotta do is, you gotta take this, click G. G is to move an object, by the way. Click Y, G, press Y, press G, and then press Y, and it moves on the Y axis. And now you gotta move this a little bit in front of the camera, but you don't want it to be in the same location as the plane, because it'll look glitchy like this. You can see that. So what you gotta do is turn off snapping, click G, move forward. Now if you look closely, you can see the tutorial is written backwards because it was on the other side. So what you gotta do is go up, or select the curve, the tutorial thing, and turn on snapping, by the way. And once you turned on snapping, rotate it. You can see when you rotate it, it's once you rotate it will look like this. Boom, tutorial. Nice. Now go into, click on this curve, and you can see that different objects, because this is a curve, it will have the curve data properties. So if I click on the plane, the brick wall, you can see that it has a different option, but in this it has a completely different option. The curve has a completely different option. You gotta click on geometry, extrude. Don't extrude it a lot, by the way. Once you extrude it enough, you can see that it's written tutorial. Now select that curve, go into this checker circle or checker sphere, which is here, material properties, click on that, go to add a new material, go to so you want a neon sign, so you can click on this principal BSDF thing up here, can go up to emission, and you can see it starts to glow. So you gotta make it a new sorry. You gotta change the value if you want more brightness, or decrease it if you want less brightness. I prefer a little bit more brightness, so I'm gonna turn it up a little bit more. And if you want to change the color of the light, you can click on color here. It's a simple thing, you can just change it. You can see if I want it to be like that, I can select that. Now we have done the basic of everything. As you can see, we have done everything. Now if you go here into the world properties and you click on this thing, it's a drop down menu. Click on this, you can see that's volume. Click on this, volume, scatter. You can see that volume is basically like small clouds, we can say. So I don't want it to be too much, because now you can see that you can see the brick wall a little bit less, so I don't want that, so I can decrease that. I want it only to be a bit. See, you can see that it looks good. Now go up here, render. There's an option here called render, and go into here, render image. Click on it. It will take a bit, but you can see it will slowly start rendering. The rendering is a process where all the 3D elements are put together in a specific order that all of their lights interact with, all of the each object's lights interact with each other. So so it will take some time, you know. If you don't want to waste that much time, you can indeed just come back to here, go to this. There's an option here, you can see it's written 0%. Click on stop this job. So you come back here, it's sort of done. Click save. You can save it to anywhere. I'm just gonna save it here. I'm gonna save it as tutorial. Now just in case, you can change it to whatever you want. You don't need to write tutorial, you can write anything, which is a thing I forgot to tell you, but you know, yeah. So if you want to write anything else, you can write anything else. Instead of tutorial, you could write your name or your gamer tag or your YouTube channel name. I don't know, you can do anything. So I'm just gonna name it tutorial. I'm gonna save it. Boom. Now if you want, you can reuse the file when you want to, when you feel like you want to change this tutorial into something else. I'm gonna change it right now. Delete it. I'm gonna write life. You can see that it's a bit messed up because, you know, I can't write properly, but yeah,